Now, beginning part 3 here, we want to go into sensors, and we want to, with the power on, we can activate magnetometer. There's another channel here, the debug, which we will activate because we need to use that to get the optic flow. They are down here and they're not doing anything. But you see sonar and barometer, magnetometer, accelerometer, and gyroscope are all functioning. Gyroscope doesn't move very much there. Now, to get these 4 channels that we need, 0, 1, 2, 3, we're going to have to go back into the CLI and give it a new command line. And that would be set debug underline mode equals flow underline raw. If you have a compass, which I presume we need, for those who don't have a compass on their GPS, there is an alternate command which is completely different. Set INAV underline allow underline dead underline reckoning equals on. And return and save that. Now when we return after rebooting, we can go back into the sensor page, and when we scroll down to the debug channels 0 through 3, and I lift the aircraft, you can see it activates all 4 positions that it required. I did not have to engage the 4 channels. They automatically fire up with that command that we entered in the CLI. And that is it for the sensor page for now. We can leave here. We'll disconnect because we don't need power, and when we come back I'll show you the Pids. So to begin with, I just took some screenshots of the initial settings as they come with INAV, and I'm just showing you these because I changed them dramatically and I didn't do it on screen. My initial changes produced some ugly results in a preliminary test, and my motors got hot, so I went and re-deciphered and I discovered some new things. I tried to extrapolate from my original Shen drone file, the diff file, and it occurred to me afterward that though that was the performance I wanted, but that was not the right tuning. Those motors are much smaller, the props are much smaller, the whole dynamic of the flight was changed by the design. So I turned around and recalibrated based on the settings from this original craft, the 10-inch. And I think I've got it back to where it was. I would like it to dumb down a little more in terms of its flying rate. Initially my motors got hot, so here I am checking the temperature after resetting the PID and filter settings. So I did one more little test, just so I could get it close to the camera, and as long as it was acting stable, I could check out its stability. Now we're not using, of course, sensors, but this is just tuning, and it seems pretty smooth, but there is a little tiny bit of shudder that isn't as visible on camera here as it was in person. So These blades are old and beat, and oops, I'm about to lean on the throttle and bust all my props. Which I was going to change anyway, but now that's a guarantee. In the meantime, I will take you back to tuning and show you the highly dynamic changes I made. This is a screenshot of INAV before any changes are made. I did not do this in real time because I needed to see if what I was doing was even correct, and I was extrapolating, of course, from Betaflight. The changes are here after I had done it off of the 10-inch diff file rather than the Shen drone diff file. And you can see the changes are quite dramatic. These numbers are very high so that the drone will respond very quickly. I did not want any of that. I wiped all of that out to low numbers. And in fact, I'm going to draw those down even more. The roll, pitch, and yaw rates probably to about 60 degrees per second. Everything else seems to be fine. These are the filter settings as they came in INAV. I made some changes that were wrong and saved incorrectly, but when I finally got them from the 10-inch diff file, this is what I was able to extract from that. This seems to be working as a starting place. This is the mechanics page, and I didn't mess with it at all. I left that entirely alone. Coming back with fresh props, we can do a little test flight, and with some of the adjustments I made, I'm able to get a little closer, smoother. I will still make some more tuning adjustments before I accept this. Here's a nice steady view in front of the camera. We can see performance a little better. I will do a little more tuning, but I think we're close. We'll come back with part 4, doing calibration and adding the 2 sensors, and hopefully we will finish the tune before we get to that.